Michelle. Welcome to my resource box for 7 to 9-year-olds. I just wanted to show you two items to begin with. The first one is my beautiful gold anchor. That is the reminder that the Lord is my anchor and to pray for my children before I see them. The second one is a bag full of playful little finger puppets, and that's to keep me playful as I do this work. I have done a visual board instead of the 5 A4 visuals, and here it is here. The reason I've done this is so it is a easier prompt for me when I'm working with children to find the material I need. So we have a feelings wheel, CBT, we have a diagram, we have an anger scale here, we have body sensations, breathe a rainbow, which I will explain later, and then safe ways of being angry. What are the thoughts around that? I have managed to get everything into boxes, smaller boxes, and then they sit in a large plastic box. This is how I have labelled the boxes, because I would like to take them to my current agency where I'm doing my placement and offer them to the other colleagues there to use. So I want to talk about the sensory grounding mindfulness box first, and I want to show you that within that is some Play-Doh. I have little cutters for the children to make shapes, make things that they like out of those. They can also do freehand with the Play-Doh. They can use toothpicks and make balls and make caterpillars. They can do all sorts of things, whatever they feel is going to make them comfortable and help them to relax. I also have a wooden thing here for them to roll Play-Doh out. In my sensory box I have a bubble blower, my yellow dinosaur here, so they can blow bubbles and they can think about thoughts they want to blow away maybe. Now the Breathe the Rainbow is an idea I got out of one of my reference books, and I'm going to have this sitting beside the Breathe the Rainbow activity. This beautiful little flower. And the instructions with Breathe a Rainbow are to take deep breaths and think about the different colours of the rainbow. So if you breathe in and out and you think about the colour red, you might think about a fire truck, a strawberry, an apple, a red heart, roses. But the idea is just to breathe in and out, thinking about your favourite things that start with red. Now for Maori children, I have these different colours. These are the words for each colour. For example, kariki is the green there. And so I'd like to bring those in as well. Now I want to talk to you about my sand tray box. Here it is here with instructions on what the aim of it is for a child to create their own world, who is in it, what their place is in it, their favourite things, and why they are important to them. What is not in the resource box, and they would like it to be in the resource box, and why is also another conversation we could have. I'd also like to talk to them about what would they like to remove from the tray and to get an idea about their world and what goes on in it for them. Within my sand tray box, I have animals, all in different bags, all sorts of things. I have shells and I have McDonald's food, and I've made up little people on a clip like that so they can just pop them into the sand. Now the next activity I have is Te whare tapu whā, which is building your own whare. So colouring in and gluing that and making your own whare, and while they're doing it, talking about all the aspects of the model and what it means for the child. The next activity I have is called a volcano in my tummy. And I have made up this grudge jar here. It's got these faces on it. When you're angry with someone and you have a grudge. The idea is I made this part up myself, instead of putting your grudges on a bit of paper in a jar, is to blow up these balloons as big as you feel like the grudges in your tummy, and then to label them. Put a piece of ribbon on each one here, and then poke them into the jar. And then we'll have a conversation about what it's like to have a tummy full of grudges and what that feels like. And then we will pull out each balloon one at a time and talk about the grudge one at a time, and use the anger scale on the board that I showed before to talk about where that anger sits and how angry the client is feeling. And I'd also use the body sensations on the board to describe how the body feels, and I'd ask about their thoughts. Here is the book that I've got this idea from. Once we've had those conversations and the balloons are left sitting on the ground with their ribbon on, we'll go on to the next activity, which is called Let Go of Anger. Here, it is based on this book, and it's about Araha, and she talks about feelings in here. And the idea with this activity is when we get to the pages with the anger, about the anger, we'll talk about what the fire in the tummy feels like. So there's several pages here about when she gets angry. Talk about that, and then we'll look at what she does here in response to her anger, and it's about breathing, and we'll talk about if this is a healthy thing to do and what it might do to help the situation when that powerful angry emotion is quite strong. And then we'll talk about other safe ways of being angry, like saying how you feel, and we will use that board that has the bubbles on it to talk about other things to do when we feel angry. And then once we've done that, we will look at the balloons again that are sitting on the ground, and we can maybe pop them if we want to. The next activity is called Finding My Calm, and this is again about Araha. It's a beautiful book about her way of managing herself when it's not so much about talking to other people about her anger. It's simply a mindfulness activity of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is here. 5 things I can see, 4 things I can feel, 3 things I can hear, 2 things I can smell, 1 thing I can taste. So I would take them through that activity and how to work with that for their future. Now the final activity is called the Tree of Life, and I have this here, and I have a tree. Show them, but on the sketch paper here they can draw a tree here with black pen, and they can take that home and colour it in for their homework. This Tree of Life is based on an article I read, and it's actually around stories of redemption amidst the loud voices of trauma. We know that trauma needs to be processed, but we also know that resilience, strength, caring, being clever, and having patience and love amidst trauma needs also to be celebrated. Now, the roots are the names of the parents, etc., extended family. The ground is the current name of friends, favourite things to do, where to go to school, and what happens day to day. The trunk are the skills, how they become good at this. The branches are hopes and dreams, and the leaves are significant people, and the fruit is gifts and blessings. Now, the idea with this tree of life is for the child and I to look at their lives and look at what has worked well, and amidst the trauma, it's more of a strength-based a perspective or approach. But I also want to talk about the forest, about the trees amongst a forest, and how together there is shelter amidst the storm when we are connected to each other. We're connected to those supportive people in our lives. So that's my final activity. And so I would like to say I'm very much looking forward to working with children in this way. And I look forward to introducing it to my agency as well, and seeing if there's a place for its use there. So thank you very much.